I gotta do one of these stupid videos. Because I have to tell, Satan's running wild in this world. The lizard brains all over the place. Won't open up the God side with the common sense. But anyways, I just wanted to come on here and tell a story. Just on how Satan rules this world. Or the narcissist. I mean, I think you're all connected somehow. I don't know. This is weird. Anyways, I think it was Friday. Because I go over to the church and I think a lot. And I had that episode with the man who didn't have enough gall to come up and ask me what I was doing, but tried to be sneaky and took a picture. And I thought that was pretty cowardly. But anyways, so I've continued to go back there. Just by the little fire pit and stuff like that. I knew eventually someone was going to come and talk to me. Or at least not be a coward about it and come and talk to me. Well, I think it was the priest from the church. The preacher. So I'm sitting there and I'm getting ready to go. And he's just kind of like waiting there for me. So I'm like, okay. So I walk up and I say, hey, how's it going? And he's like, oh, not bad. And you? I said, oh, pretty good. And he's like, can I ask you what you're doing back there? I was like, yeah, I come here to talk to God, actually. And I feel more comfortable out here than I do in there. So that's what I come back here and do. Oh, well, there's been people back here smoking drugs. And I said, I get what you're saying, because I took a picture of a couple meth pipes, and I know that it's not me, trust me. Like, I take my garbage. If I take a drink, I bring my garbage out with me. I'm not the person leaving garbage or whatever, Well, don't you have somewhere else to go? I says, well, this is the place where you're supposed to talk to God, right? And my home really doesn't feel like a safe space, so you don't have to worry. I'm not one of those homeless people. I have a home down the street. It's just not really a safe space for me, so I come here and I talk to God. Oh, okay. So we got her all sorted out, and he's like, no problem. I'm like, okay. So then we proceed, because I'm like, this is a preacher. Let's have some talks about Jesus. Well, that didn't really go that well for me, because I used his own stuff against him. I did the whole children thing. I was like, there's children out there being hurt. And his response back was, of course, well, what am I supposed to do? And then I said, well, hey, is that the Christ-like thing to do? Well, no, there's things that we try and do, but we can only do so much. And I was like, is that what Jesus would do? Would he stop? Or would he keep? If he thought the children were being hurt, would he continue and continue and continue? Well, we're not Jesus. Well, doesn't the Bible say to believe in Jesus and be like Jesus? Once you're like him, because you believe in him so much, you want to be like him, then you get to go to the Father. Is that not, like, I don't know, maybe I misread stuff. That's why I enjoy trying to talk to this preacher, but anyways, he did give me the invite into the church. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll come to your church. Do you want to check out my YouTube and you can tell me what you think? Well, no, but come to the church. So then we got talking on. He's like, well, there was another guy back there that we had to bring in, and us being the good Christians that we are, we brought him in and we fed him. And Then we told him he just can't be back there and stuff like that, which I understood, because if he was back there doing like math and shit like that, there is a children's playground. Now, if I'm being honest, I've done some stuff back there, but not when the children are there, and it's nothing like math. I smoked the odd joint back there. But then they just sent him on his way, and instead of like trying to get him help and trying to get him to become part of the church. But this Christian thought he was good because he fed him, and then told him, don't come back. Go get yourself some help. Anyways. Then he tried telling me about Christians. And the first thing he says to me, he says, we don't think we're better than anybody else. And I was like, wow, that's good. Well, no, we don't. We don't think we're... Well, that's good, because you're not. And I don't think that he liked that. But I was being honest. No man is better than another. But they definitely should be judged for their actions. So if you don't give respect, you don't get respect, sort of thing. But anyways. So he didn't really want to listen to me. He brushed me off. The end result was, he was like, no problem. You can come back here. I kind of know what you're doing. It's all good. So last night, I go to the church again, because I'm really struggling. I mean, I got nowhere to go. So I'm really struggling, and I'm looking for answers. And I go back into the church where I go. And this guy knows that this is... And there's a no trespassing sign. Great, big, huge no trespassing sign. So how does that preacher think? By lying to me. Like, if he didn't want me back there, he should have just not been a coward and said that. But instead, he lied and told me it was cool. But then puts up a no trespassing sign. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you think a lying Christian preacher goes to heaven for treating people who are seeking God and make sure that they don't have a safe place to go to seek God? You think that this fucking preacher at the Church of God has a shot if he was to die today? Do you think he's going to heaven? Or do you think his fibs come back to haunt him? Here's another thing. One of the first things I did say to him, I don't even know. I said to him, I said, hey, is this church affiliated with Henry Hildebrandt's Church of God? And he said, no. I said, that's good, because you know what happens to false prophets? Did you hear the rumors of what happened to Henry Hildebrandt? And he just kind of like, okay, that's the thing. I don't say these things that I'm a prophet or a starseed because I want to gain something from it. It's because I believe it to be true. And if I didn't, I'm fucking conscious enough to know what the repercussions of saying that you're a prophet of God if you're not. It's Men's Mental Health Month still, eh? Wow. This is how Christians treat people that were probably on their last fucking legs. Seeking God like they're supposed to. true Jesus Christ, aka the truth. But we're so ignorant as human beings to think that that's the only way to God. Is God wouldn't have sent other people with other lessons. But it all has to go through. Look at the natives. It all boils back to the truth. Stand up for what's right and what you believe in. That's why those natives were warriors. They knew the only way to destroy them was with alcohol. They knew they couldn't break their spirits unless they gave them other spirits. Like, Satan's pretty smart, eh? This little cult of little sheep, that's what they are. You guys are sheep, but so are they. They're just fucking sheeps of Satan. And they're stupid and they don't know the repercussions of their actions. Because they were told right from the get-go that Satan's a liar. He's a slime bag and a weasel. But he's all worked his way into everybody's brains. All you gotta do to get rid of him is seek your own truth. Take a good look at yourself first. But anyways, I just wanted to tell that little story about the fine Christian preacher that was definitely there to help his fellow man, especially when his fellow man expressed an extreme amount of love for God. But Christians, not all of them. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying some of them.